In this video, we're going to discuss lookup functions in Excel, and this includes the V-lookup, H-lookup, and X-lookup functions. And sometimes the reason why we have these functions and why they are created is sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you are interested, you have one data set that you're working on, but it doesn't contain the total number of columns that you need to complete your analysis. However, on another hand, you have another data set like a master that has the total number of columns that you're interested in, maybe the two that are missing. And you also have a unique ID in both data sets that can be used to link and bring this other column. So you also have sometimes in a situation where you want to have something like a dialog box where the user enters, maybe selects a list. Then after selecting that list, maybe some certain values are populated or displayed to the user. So that's what we're going to discuss here today. And we are having an example of in this example that we are going to use a case scenario. It's a bakery, and this bakery has 3 tables, but we are of interest the first 2. So the first one is products, which is a list of all the products that are in this bakery. And the first one we have, it has product ID, product name, category, price, and stock quantity. The second table has records sales, and for this reason, what they have now here is the sales of the total sales that on a daily basis that are recorded in this bakery. So our task at hand is maybe you are working with this sales table, and what we have, we have product ID. However, you may be of interest to have the product name here. Product name, so product name. And if you notice, we have it in this products table, so we can use the product ID to link up here. And that's why we're going to discuss the first function, which is the VLOOKUP. So the VLOOKUP function, this is embedded in Excel. So we just say equals to VLOOKUP. And the purpose of this function, as you see, it takes in three commands. And the first one is the lookup value. So what is which just refers to the lookup ID. So we are looking up here. So this is our unique ID. Then the array. So the array is the range where you're going to source the information that is missing. So we are going to this across all of this range. And then just as a reminder, it's good because this formula we intend to drag it down. It's important for us to just use absolute cell referencing. So, and then the column index. So in that range that we are interested in, which was here, what column are we interested in returning? So the index, so it is the second column, the product name. So we just write 2, and then the last command here is do you want an approximate match or an exact match? So for us, we strictly want an exact match. An approximate match will try to see if the values are similar and it's suitable when maybe you're working with text data. But here we have like the ID is numeric and we want an exact match. So you can either type false or just the number 0, which will be recorded as false. And there we have it. So we've been able to see product 1 is white bread. And if we drag the formula downwards, it populates the whole table. So that's VLOOKUP. It takes in 3 commands. You need the lookup value, the array. You also need the column index, and the 4th one will be the range or the index that you're interested in. So that allows you to do vertical lookup. So hence the name VLOOKUP. So, and sometimes you may be interested in looking up values in the horizontal. So let's say this is horizontal. Maybe your table is in horizontal format. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this table and then we are going to invert it. So let's paste with transposing it. And then we are interested in the same task. However, what we have here is our table is now in a transformative format. So what we're going to do is now we're going to use the H-lookup, now horizontal lookup. And then it takes in the same commands. So I'm going to take it faster a little bit on this side. And then, of course, the range. And then remember, it's important to do the absolute cell referencing, function F4, for if you're working on Windows. and then you're interested in number 2 and then an exact match. Good, it brings us the same answer. And you see, if we drag this formula downwards, let's say for now it will give us NA because it's not looking up for something. Then we type maybe a missing index, maybe 105, it populates. If we change it to 107, it recognizes and it populates it. So that's, we have it, V-lookup and H-lookup. But sometimes you find yourself in a situation, remember we've restricted ourselves, and the V-lookup has a disadvantage, and the H-lookup, as we were highlighting our range, we needed our index key to be the first index in that range or that array. So like in the vertical lookup, the product key was the first column. In the H-lookup, the product ID was the first row. So, and sometimes you may find yourself in a situation where what you want to look up is maybe prior, maybe something like this. So product ID is in the middle of your data set, but stock quantity that you're interested in comes prior. So this poses a question, a challenge in V-lookup, and therefore people now came up with the X-lookup function. That's what we're going to discuss, the last one. So last is X-lookup. And X-lookup just allows you to either look up vertically or horizontally, depending on the range. And what it does, the function is a little bit different, but performs the same way. So we want X, we just write X-lookup. And the first thing is the lookup value. What are we looking up for? So we are looking up for this. And then what we want, where are we going to look up this value? So we want that array. And here, instead of selecting the entire range, we're going to select the range of IDs, Keep note on that. We are selecting the range of IDs. So we are looking up product ID on this section. And then also the next command now, as we look at, it's the last one, which is compulsory. We want the return array. So where are we returning? We are returning this array of product name here. Also remember to just use absolute referencing. So just as we drag the formula, it will work perfectly. So that's where you have it. So just as a recap, the X-lookup takes in, the first command required is the lookup value, the ID that you're interested in, then the range of where the IDs exist, and then of course what you require also next is the values that you're interested in returning. Let's try and see if it can work in the horizontal range. So X-lookup, and then what are we looking up for? Product ID. Where are we going? Where are we getting this data? We're getting it here across this range. Remember to block it, function 4. Then of course the range. So here I'll try and bring out the one that was before, the stock quantity, so that you can see if it can work the way we were saying it. So like that, function F4, and then close it. Oops, sorry, I've missed something. So let me just repeat that last part. So we require the lookup, the return array that we're interested in, and it's this. So that's the return array. So what I was saying is that, then enter. So we have 180. So product ID 101 has 120 quantities, and that's what we have here. So we can drag the formula and it works perfectly. Yeah. So in this video, we've covered lookup functions in Excel, and we've understood the importance of lookup function, that it allows us to bring maybe indexes or columns that are not present in our current data set, however exist in a master data set file. And we've also seen how the vertical lookup works, H-lookup, and also the X-lookup function that allows you to look up in any other direction. So this file is on the description of this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and in the next one we'll discuss about another lookup feature, which is the index and match. Thank you.